Welcome to another Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm going to continue my Theodore Sturgeon series with this video. Reading everything I can get my hands on by Theodore Sturgeon, and I've got my hands on quite a lot because of this whole series of books by North Atlantic Books, which I got all of them when they were released in hardcover. These are no longer in print. I'm sure you can get them as ebooks still. You might be able to buy these as trade paperbacks new, but otherwise these hardcovers are no longer available and you have to try and buy them used. I got them all new. This is volume 1 that I'm going through. I'm way at the beginning of Theodore Sturgeon's work. The Ultimate Egoist is a book where I'm reading all of these. And this story is his 11th published work, according to my bibliography, which may or may not be correct. And before he wrote any science fiction, before he published anything in Astounding, he wrote a whole series of these little short stories for the McClure newspaper syndicate. And this is the 11th of them that he wrote. It was published, it was syndicated by McClure on June 17th, 1939. And it's short enough that I consider this to be the same as what we call flash fiction today. Back in the day, it would have been called a short story. In this one, you have Carl Hansen, and he meets Louise Brett. And Louise really likes him and wants to get him to ask him to marry her. Even though she knew she would have to work really hard to make it happen, she's eventually successful because her set wins him over. One of you that's been leaving comments has let me realize that at the back of this book, which, for the first 10 stories, I didn't realize there were story notes in the back. Well, I'm reading up in the stories, reading at the front. I'm not reading the very back of the book. I'm not even looking at the back of the book. I wasn't paying any attention, so I didn't know there were all these story notes back there. So yes, I read the story notes for this one this time. So maybe I'm finally getting a clue here with this book. And in the story notes, the only significant thing it says about this story is that Sturgeon reportedly says that it's his mother who suggested the story idea. And the best way to sum it up without ruining it is just say, without ruining it too much, is just say the common phrase, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And that's what happens here, really. It's a nice little story, extremely short, worth the time reading it. Definitely not a top tale, but definitely worthwhile for anybody who's a Sturgeon completist. You gotta track this story down somehow and read it, because it's nice. It's a good story. I've been enjoying it. I didn't think I would like all these McClure stories because they weren't science fiction, and I like science fiction, and I know Sturgeon for science fiction. I love More Than Human, and so I was thinking stories like this, I'm not gonna like these, but I've been finding myself really enjoying them. They're terrific little stories, and they are so short. It takes no time at all to read one of them. I'm only on number 11. That's only because I'm just fitting these in between all the other stuff I'm reading. So I'm not sitting down and reading through The Ultimate Egoist front to back. I'm taking it as they come in my schedule. When I need to fill a spot, I put a Theodore Sturgeon there. And so that's why I'm not very far along. But, well, that's my bookmark. That's what, a third or a little better of the book that I'm through. But that's still not much reading, really. I'm only on page 139. Could read all of that in one sitting, but because I'm doing them individually, story by story, that's not how it works out. Anyway, have you read Ex-Bachelor Extract? If you have, let me hear your comments. Anything you have to add to what I've said, especially now that I've discovered the story notes. Here's a challenge for you to find something more and tell me about it. But if you've got it, I want to hear it. Or even just opinions about the story. I want to hear it. Put it in the comments for all of us to enjoy. And I hope you'll come back. Not sure what the next one is going to be, but number 12 will be another of the McClure stories, and I'll be bringing that to you just as soon as I got a little slot in my schedule to put it in. Got a lot of things going on, though, so it may be a little while. So I hope you'll come back and watch me for that one. Till then, like button, subscribe button, essential. Do it.